Hello, everybody. Oh, there it is. I've been refreshing this page trying to see if I'm actually live, and it wasn't live until I just switched it over. But it looks like it's working now, so thank goodness for that. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2 Hour Track Challenge. I am going to be working on something today, and it looks like my volume is very, very low. So I'm going to try to fix that real quick. Huh. Well, let me listen in the thing. Maybe it's fine. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2 Hour Track Channel. Maybe I'm just not talking loud enough. That's entirely possible, too. So, I'm just getting set up here, and we will get going in a few minutes. My Wednesdays have gotten a little bit more busy now that fall is approaching. But overall, I think things are going to be okay. Okay, I don't need that up. And I'm still looking at my audio volume and it seems very low. Let's just bring in a piano and see what that says. Just because Windows updated yesterday or the day before, and I think it reset a lot of my settings, which is no good. Sorry, I'm looking down here at my screen. But hey, you can't have an entertaining show without some setbacks, you know? Okay, so it seems like my microphone volume is very low, but this is like turned up super high. So I'm not sure. And I recorded something yesterday, and that was fine. Forgive me for going to a different scene real quick, but yeah, the microphone volume's the same there, so it's not that. Ableton. There we go. Okay, well, if it seems fine, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. If the audio's a little quieter, that's just a throwback to the early videos, which I actually checked out one of the early videos that I did a while ago, and yeah, it was a lot different. Like the camera was different. I've been really busy working on things, but I haven't actually worked on a new song. So this is going to be interesting. Ugh. We'll see how it goes. I'm not too worried. It'll be a good time either way. So we can get our timer set up. Hopefully. I'm starting to feel like I should be recording this locally just in case everything goes to hell, because it's already... There it is. I might as well just do it this way now. That's ideal right there. So in this challenge, I'm going to try to finish off another one of the challenges, the composition quest log composition quest log challenges. Slamhouse is now hosting with 1 viewer. Thanks, Slamhouse. And this is like all these hosts are related to the new auto host feature from Twitch, which is really cool, and I appreciate that they added that. I apologize. Whoa, I apologize for all the microphone stuff. I keep seeing that audio volume, and I'm worried that whatever. What could possibly go wrong? Exactly. So the challenge is called Big Baddie. A gigantic, overwhelmingly powerful, evil, destructive monstrosity is lumbering towards you. Write a track that communicates the power and size of such a horrible beastie. And so initially my plan was to make something along the lines of like the Doom soundtrack, which would be a lot of fun, but I don't have the I don't have the brain power to make something like that. So I'm gonna do something a little less like death rock or whatever the genre for Doom was, because that was a very good soundtrack. Highly recommended. There we go. That's better. So 4 o'clock is coming up really quick here, so I'm just gonna get started, and we'll see what we can do. It's is it going? Okay, it's going. It's been a very busy week so far, and honestly, I feel really bad that I haven't done a whole lot of streaming lately, and that's mostly related to just everything being very busy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find some noisy ass drums and see if I can get something going with that. That is not noisy. I know that chill out drums got stuff like that, but I'm thinking like I was thinking about song titles for this because I try to do a little bit of planning beforehand, not a ton, but enough. And the title "Into the Machine" came to me, and I think that was actually a P-Pixelation track name, and I really liked it, but I'm not really sure how I can like convey that as a song. So the first thing I kind of want to do is maybe bring up, let's get rid of all these, and just a straight bass line. Yeah, I'll just stick it at 120. And try to get just like a very loud like bop sound or something like that. Hey Ollie, how you doing, man? Is the audio really quiet for you? Like I Windows updated itself, and like I'm looking at OBS now, and the microphone volume seems really low compared to where it was a couple days ago or a week ago. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that, but that's a start. Hey. Yeah, volume. Okay. I love messing with FM synthesis. It's a lot of fun. Okay, audio's fine. No, that's good to hear. Maybe OBS updated their system so it's not always peaking, even though it isn't. That would be a nice change of pace, but I fear that I don't know. I don't know what I fear. So, I'm thinking about just going kind of ham on this right away. Yeah, that's too much. Cause you need that bass. Just compress it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just messing around with a couple of things. Hopefully something kind of sticks out. And we'll see where we're going. So for those who missed the introduction, I've moved a little fast through this. Oh, hi, Ollie. I am trying to make, or the challenge is to make something like a boss fight style song. Ugh, no. Yeah. Okay, so if you're saying that's loud, okay. Yeah, and see the thing is, like, I want my microphone to be louder than my input. So if I go like that, that might help a little bit. let's do a different thing here. There was a multi-pack or a pack that I was going through the other day that I bought that I never really used, but there's a couple cool loops in there that I want to try to find. No. Percussion loops, full loops. I don't want to do like dubstep. That's boring and dumb. I wanted to find... there was loops. There was something cool. Ugh. There's like this cool little pack that I found. That I thought that would be really cool, and I should have like bookmarked it or something, because now I can't find it. That's kind of neat. Dumb stuff, yeah. And I'm not saying anything bad about the genre. It's just not for me. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Oops. So I'm going to chop the hell out of that. Make sure it fits properly. Loop to 4 bars. Presumably, that would actually loop perfectly. Also, hey everybody, how you doing? Okay, see. Okay, so see, like, that's way louder than my voice, and I don't want that. And I don't know what happened. And I mean, I'm gonna have to do this while time is ticking, which sucks. But I mean, I can increase the gain on this, and maybe that's all I have to do. But I fear that I'm gonna start clipping my microphone. So if I start clipping, please let me know. But otherwise, we'll just go with that. So I really like this loop. It feels a little off, though. I mean, granted, the drums are off. But let's just loop 1. And I can't just go like this because that would be dumb. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just how it is. The clap is at the is before the beat, which is fine. And I don't want to make this like a main loop or anything like that. I'm just thinking about ways that I can do this. So I guess I'm just making this not bad. It's fine. Oops. Hey, who knows? It's a start. I'm starting to feel like maybe I should work on an actual bass line and then just kind of tinker with this after the fact. But getting a nice 2-bar loop would be beneficial to getting things rolling as well. So I'm just gonna get this in here real quick. There's no... Okay, we'll see how that goes, and then I can start working on other stuff. Cool. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to do some effects on this just to because this is not going to be the main thing. It's going to just be more of a it's going to be there to help the percussion sound a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to make it like this. Cool. And then, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more juice coming now, which is good, because right away I didn't have a whole lot of an idea what I was doing. But I think we can start moving with this, and there's another pack that I wanted to use, and it's like I'm trying to remember where all these things are now. I've like had my head down working on all these things for so long. It's like now I can't remember where I put all of the things that I use. Cinematic drums. I have a feeling I'm going to be using a lot from here. Yeah. Oh boy, that's loud. Again, this is something that probably like comes in far later in the song, but you got to get them layers. Nice. And this I want a lot more truncated, but I think that it should fit just fine if I do some processing. And all this stuff needs processing, like, for sure. Starts to sound like a Nine Inch Nails song. I thought there was some, like some metallic scraping sounds and stuff like. That sounds like a good intro, though. Am I right? Oops. There we go. Okay, so this needs to be, this little clank right here needs to be right on the 1. And then let's think of some kind of cool bass line. Yeah, our bass still sounds like garbage. But, you know. Ooh, so edgy. Yeah, let's just dump in a massive preset for now, and then we can tinker with it later. But right now, I just need bass. Oh, it's so tiny. That'll do. And something that I'm really bad at, and I want to try to get better at, is just repeating the same note at, like, different velocities and stuff. I feel like there's a lot, there's a lot that you can do with just expressing the same note. Hey, Massive is awesome. I love Massive. I need to get better at it, but I really like using it. So let's now. Yeah, now this just is a Nine Inch Nails song. What key is this in? D. I don't think this would survive down an octave. This also needs to be like 108 for tempo, which kind of messes up everything else, but yeah. Perturb? I don't know how to say that because perturbator. I have no idea what that is, but that's a cool sounding word. Cool, cool, cool. Um, 108 was the number that came to mind. That's about it. It was at 120 and I was like 110 might still be a little fast. So I went to 108. Too slow, huh? Okay, let's bring it like to 115. That's not bad. I can roll with that. Okay, so then this just kind of has to dissipate into the ether. And then well, that's the plan, Formal. The theme is to make some boss music, and I feel like this is a pretty good start. Although, like I said, I don't know when you got in here, but it sounds a little bit like mid 1990s Nine Inch Nails stuff, which is not a bad thing, but okay, so I want to keep this, but okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make like basically a tonal pad out of this. I'm going to have this as a loop, but I'm going to be just kind of banging it around and just getting rid of a lot of the melodic stuff or like the transient stuff, just so I can make it just have that tonal sound to it, but not really anything else. So it's just kind of this wash in the background. So now see, it feels a little fast, but I mean, I like the intensity of having it a little fast because that creates the intensity, I guess. I used that word in that sentence already, but that's okay. Okay. I'm not really sure where this is going. Okay, so I feel like this should really be over here, and then this can be like this, and then we can just bring this. It needs more stuff, more layers, more layers. Something right here. Something right here. What should we do? I'm thinking like just this really long, kind of a boop sound, just a bum, that like cuts through everything, and I think that that'll help with a little bit of. Actually, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. And we'll figure something out there. I actually am really happy that I'm doing another one of these challenges. Like, I love doing them, but I have a really hard time finding the time these past couple weeks, and that really kind of bums me out. Hey, don't make me start singing Shrek. Because I will. And then, because we can go like this. Okay, so this has a note that's a little bit, yeah, these are too quiet. And that's good, but we can make that better by doing a little bit of a pitch bend right here. So now it's too fast. Maybe that's not going to work. It's kind of a theremin. A theremin is a sine wave. This is actually it's an interesting effect though, because there's two oscillators. The analog has two oscillators, and they're actually starting at different pitches below it, and they're both raising up to the same point, which is pretty cool actually. I never really thought about doing that before, but that's an interesting effect that I really like. Because it creates this like really weird dissonant sound. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to add another layer for drums. So let's bring in a drum rack and try to find some dank ass stuff. Halloween's not bad. I'm just kind of doing whatever right now. Let's find some actual drums. I don't necessarily need a kick, but I need a good solid snare. And that's where I'm going to start. Where the hell am I looking, though? The multi-packs. Okay, there it is. No. That's better. That's a good start anyway. Hey, Pokey. And hey, Zelgrith, how you doing? The theme today, Zelgrith, is a boss fight. So it is just kind of big bad guy music, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet, but it's something. And yeah, Pokey, I totally hear you. I hope that all of your projects are going in on time just fine. I don't know if I like the alternating kick snare thing. It just seems very, very samey. So maybe I'll go like this. Have a good one, Pokey. Hopefully you get everything taken care of. There's like a transient. I know I use this sample a lot, but there's a lot of the work stuff went okay, Zelgrith. It's like I just got a ride over to my friend's house, who also works where I work, and I was able to use his internet while I finished it. The issue is that I was doing a disaster recovery exercise, which is a very large deal because I work at a bank, and if you're not able to sign off on that, some bad things happen. So I had to be there, and unfortunately my wife's car was in the shop, so I didn't have a car to get anywhere, so I was kind of stranded, and she was kind enough to come back and get me. So it was a huge mess, but thankfully it was taken care of. Yeah, I would have just gone into the office, but again, I didn't have a car, so I just tried to get the fastest route to get to internet, and it's like I couldn't go to a coffee shop, both because for like security reasons, because I don't think my like work laptop works on Wi-Fi, and because like the internet was down in the neighborhood. It wasn't just my house; it was like the entire neighborhood. So like I couldn't just there wasn't internet within walking distance. There was just no internet. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out too. It was very stressful and frustrating, but in the end, why is this still here? There we go. So I got some more effects here, and I'm going to work on doing some interesting processing on these, just to make things more interesting. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that I love doing, and that is doing this, except way faster. Yeah. And then compress the hell out of it. And just want the high end, really. I don't care about the low end. Again, it's like there for flavor and color. I thought I had like metal scraping sounds, but I can't really seem to find those, so I'm not sure if I have them or I don't, but it's too late for me to grab them now, so I'm just going to work with what I have. And that's okay. And working within Simpler might not be the might not be the best way to do this. I could do a pitch bend. I wanted to kind of granulize it or something, but actually granulizing it would be pretty cool. What can I do here? Oh my god. Yeah. Well, that's nice, a nice view, but that doesn't help me. Oh, sorry about the volume there. That was really loud. Let's make it really short, actually. Because when you bring it into the other thing, when you bring it into the song as a whole, it should kind of fit an overall feeling. So I wasn't able to stream over the weekend, which is no fun, but I had a very busy weekend. I did a lot of work, both on Saturday and Sunday. I actually DJ'd a gala on Sunday, which was a lot of fun. Although it kind of devolved. I had like a set playlist that was requested by the organizer and all this other stuff, and then the people who were actually the supporters were just like, you should play this song. It just kind of devolved into the normal wedding requests. You get like the 80s hip hop and 90s dance music, which it's just fine. It's just like one of those things. It's like, well, I spent so much time making this set list that was requested, but I guess you guys are the ones paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to the sanctuary, so I guess I should, you know. Yeah, my suit pic is a good picture. I was happy with that one. I should actually post that on like Facebook or something, because it was a lot of fun. And it was a good time. Like they raised a good amount of money, and it's like I am happy to be of service to those people, because they do a lot of good work. And it's kitties, big kitties. It's getting there. Like I do like the idea of the song title being Into the Machine still, so I kind of want to add more stuff, like just random field recording stuff, but I know that I don't have all the time in the world for that. And I have sound effects from this breaking glass. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring this out into 4 bars. So I have a little bit more to work with here. And that should help too. Yeah, so I want to add more stuff. Like this. This is a good one. It's like a good lead-in sound. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Although that's pretty apparent from most of these streams, so I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah. It's just a nice kind of crackly sound. And I actually bring up the volume. Okay. I wish I had like servos. That's what I really want. I don't think I have any though. Oh, I do have some. Okay, so I'm going to bring in those in just a second. I wanted to try to grab like 1 or 2 more glass sounds. Yeah, those are too thumpy. That's actually pretty good. That kind of scraping sound. And that's really kind of what I was looking for. And I might run this through something called Corpus, which is a... it's like an environment simulator. So I can... actually, where are those servo sounds? Let me go back to those real quick. Just toss these in here before I forget. Oops, I should have put those in a different spot. Yeah, Selgrith and the snacks. There were a lot of snacks. You ordered pizza? Why does that make you sick? I would love some pizza right now. Or are you just saying you're sick because you didn't order Buffalo Wild Wings somehow? What? Oh, that's right. You don't like pizza. What's wrong with you? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yes. Pineapple pizza's the best. Don't you let any haters tell you otherwise. It sounds like a old-timey telephone. There it is. So I actually want to bring this up to D3. I don't fully understand how this works, like timing-wise. Let's try 575. 560. 565. 568. 570. 572. 578. 580. 584. 588. There, good enough. I really like Papa John's like that garlic sauce, but it really wrecks my stomach. As much as I love it, like I can't really eat it. Because it's basically just like garlic steeped in melted butter. Which sounds amazing, and it is amazing, but I don't have the fortitude for that, unfortunately. Yeah, which it is sad because I love it. Yeah, okay, so that's good. It's doing some weird stuff. Oh, Chucko573 is now following. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Or lady, I don't know. Maybe Chucko is a name that you just chose. I don't know. But thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. I think I'm up to like 202 now or something. Like I hit 200 a week and a half ago, and that was super exciting. Yeah, so this is not punching through at all because there's so much other stuff going on. Chucko the lady. Hey, you don't know. I don't judge. It's cool. So I'm going to do a little bit of overdrive and glue compression on the main bus for the drums because because having some extra juice on the drums will help. Although if you have too much, so that sounds kind of junky by itself, but when you add in it's always been an arts and crafts channel. Yeah, I saw that Tim's bot was being kind of a troll for a while. I have not been very good at keeping up on my Discord though. Which is too bad because there's a lot of Discord chats going on. That I want to be a part of, but I just cannot. I cannot afford the time right now, and it really sucks. Because I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of plopping stuff in randomly and seeing how it all... That's funny. So I think that this is all good, but I think I should spread it out more, because it'll get really annoying if it's all just in every beat or every measure. So... Okay, what does this sound like? Come on, select both of them. Yeah, that's a start. And again, this is just here for like extra noise, extra just interest beyond the actual melody, because the melody's probably going to be very, very basic. Ben and the Machine. Yeah. This is basically Zelgrith. This is a package of servo sounds that I found, and it's actually working pretty well. They sound kind of like a power drill, and I wouldn't put it past whoever recorded these to have used like a power drill or something similar. Needs some volume adjusting, but actually EQ8. Sometimes it comes from sound packs that I find online, and I used to download, I used to liberate the sounds, but these days I usually buy everything that I use. I think there's a couple holdovers from that, but I think this was just a free pack that I found somewhere. Where was this? And a lot of these, like I have this sound effect, which is really cool. It's actually from a cutting machine, which I might actually use just as like, yeah, I'm just going to use just straight up the recording of this because it'll work great. It's like freesounds.org, slice.com. Your question was, have you used slice.com? A friend recommended it recently, and no, I haven't. And Ollie, I'll make you a regular. Sorry about that. So yeah, now you can post links, Ollie. Okay, so adding this cutter at the bottom. That is some demonic shit. I love it. So now so this will help with the, just the general tempo. That snare gets super, super lost though. And it's like really loud on its own. But when it comes to cutting through everything else, like, that's a bit of a problem. a needle printer sample, like the old dot matrix printers. Is that what you're talking about? Because, yeah, that would be pretty good. Wow. Main base. Okay. Drums. So it's getting there. Stuff. I don't even know what to name these things. Kick. More stuff. Oh geez, what did I do? I didn't delete anything. Okay. More stuff. Servos. Cutting machine. I do not remember much about how dot matrix printers worked. So you're gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to take your advice on that one. Okay, so this needs to have a proper intro of sorts. So it's going to be that, and then just the snare, which is the bottom one. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I wanted these. Okay, where are those cinematic drums again? Because that's where I need to go next, I think. Drum pack, cinematic. There was like this really, like, what was it called? It's close. Electroshock, this is what it was. It gets so lost. Like, this is not mixed terribly well. Mostly because like there's so much bass. That is ominous sounding. Get a little bit of an intro going. Oh, that snare needs like a huge boost though. There was a snare in here, and I lost it. There it is. So warp loop 200. Oh wait, no, it's 020. 020. There we go. That's better. But we do it every bar, so it's one. Yeah. There we go. We got it. We got there. Yeah, I remember the good old days. So it's not mixed terribly well. I'll be the first to admit that. But it's a start. But we're also almost an hour into this already. I feel like this needs more stuff. Especially in the high end. There's just not a lot of motion. Yeah, Commodore 64. That's what I started on. I actually have a Commodore 64 up in my closet upstairs. I doubt I'll ever use it again, but it would be cool. It would be cool too. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do on that thing. Well, the problem is, like, more stuff doesn't help in this case, because if you look at the the spectrum for the entire song, if you look at this guy, just turn everything off. There's no room left for anything. That makes it a little bit more interesting. Oh, what should we call this? Oh, wait, no, we already had a song for that. We already had a title for this. 2016 1019 Into the Machine. Yeah, I had QBasic when I had my Commodore 64. Ugh, I'm old. Wee. Okay, so that offset. Okay, so I need to bring that right here. Bring that up a little bit. Okay. '91. Come on. Yeah, I was born in '81, so there's that. Okay, so all the work that I did on this was to free up some more space down here. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do some really, really basic mixing because this desperately needs it. Solo. This needs to be at like -12. Okay, then after that, probably the kick drum. Ugh, okay, solo off. This is kind of counterintuitive, but I feel like this is starting to suffer. Yeah, I graduated in '99. This song is starting to suffer a little bit because the mixing is so bad. There we go. Because this really desperately needs to cut through. And right now it's not. So I need to make sure that this cuts through and it actually makes makes an impact. And I'm actually going to try to kind of cut this early with a gate. So when it gets below this threshold for volume, it just kind of chops the note off, which is kind of what I'm looking for here. So that's good. We'll move on to the next one. And again, this needs a compressor. Actually, this one's just too loud. Yeah, and I kind of screwed up this mixing because now I can't hear the bass anymore. Take care, Max. Thanks for swinging by. That's a cool sound. That's a little better. It's still not perfect. And like mixing and mastering the whole thing will help with that. Hey, Germany. That's cool. It's just something feels wrong with this. And I can't tell what feels wrong with this. It might just be there's too many layers going on and it's just not properly mixed together. So, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of just kind of figuring out how this is all working together. Because this is kind of important for this type of song. And I feel like maybe it's just my headphone volumes are... Maybe the problem was my headphones were just too low, and I couldn't properly hear the dynamic range that I was trying to get. Because now it sounds a little bit better when I just turn my headphones up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's make a little bit more. Yeah, Ollie, that's a very, very good point. 4, 5, 6, 7. And actually that was something that I was thinking about trying to do as like a reward tier, either for like 10 or maybe like a $15, where I could sit down with somebody and just chat with them for like a half hour or an hour or something once a month, and like just hear what they're working on and offer advice or play their game or do whatever. And I it's very difficult for me to ask for money to offer advice for people, or to like to give my time, because I want to give that time, freely, and I don't want to feel like I'm trying to capitalize off that. But if these last months have taught, or these last weeks have taught me anything, it's that I need to manage my time better. Ugh. Okay, for starters, I need to like these notes aren't correct. But yeah, Ollie, that's definitely something that I want to do, because I feel like not just with music, but there's a lot of things that I and I don't want to say that I'm like the expert at everything, because I most certainly am not. That's better. But it's like I definitely am able to look at problems. Yeah, man, I hear you. And maybe I'll look into that. And I just don't know. I have like 3 threads of thought going at once here. The first one is, it's like, I know I'm not an expert at everything, and I don't want to try to purport myself as somebody who knows everything, but I'm very good at looking at things and figuring out what exactly doesn't fit with them, like both with music or with games or something. It's just like looking at a system of things and being able to tell what exactly isn't right or what doesn't feel right. So yeah, it's one of those things where I think that I could actually, help people out if they are willing. And it's like, the second thing is that I'm not comfortable asking for money for that kind of service, because I want to be able to help people. I just want to be able to help people. And if you are a patron of my patreon.com/Ben_Burns, I actually released a preview video for this Friday's creative exploration, which talks about that very thing, where it's so important to like help other people out. And it's something that's very, very strongly held by me, and I don't want to be like, well, I'll help you out for $20 a month, and that just seems like a dick move. But we all got to eat. I mean, there's that. But and like, my time is unfortunately valuable, which is a weird thing to say, because I'm not used to thinking about it that way. But it's like, I have a lot of work on my plate right now, which is great. It's very stressful. I'm looking forward to December, when things slow down a little bit. But like, I have 8 songs to write in 2 weeks, and then I have 6 songs, or I have 12 songs to write next month, not including all the other stuff I have going on. Oh my God, I apologize for how loud that was. That was the sound. That was like the exact sound I wanted, but That was really loud. So, like, it sounds good inside the actual song, but, like, that was very loud, and I apologize. Vibrato. Yeah, Zelgrith, and that's exactly it. Like, I 100% want to sit down and, like, help people out and offer advice and everything like that. And it's very difficult for me to be able to do that every day, despite the fact that that's, like, I mean, if I was rich and I didn't have to work, I would be my life goal would be to help everybody else succeed and, like, just offer advice, play all the cool things everybody that I know is either making or, like, yeah. So I just need to get rich so I can just listen to everybody else's stuff all the time. Like, I don't listen to new music very often. My wife sometimes gives me crap that I don't know bands, and I don't, because I'm so wrapped up in all the stuff that I'm doing. Like, I don't always have time to listen to new music, which sucks because there's so much cool music out there. And I'm just not able to always experience it. I want to make this super grungy and gross though. So I'm going to amp cabinet rock. This might be very loud, and I apologize. Nope, it's perfect. Yeah, so I would be more than happy to do that. And like, adding that kind of a tier to my Patreon is something, like I said, that I've been considering doing for a little while, and I do want to kind of just redesign my Patreon because I'm probably going to end the 2-hour track challenge at the end of this year, which doesn't mean I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just I'm not going to do it on a regular basis because it's very mentally exhausting, and I love doing it. But when I get busy like this, I start dreading it because I want to have a good show, but I also want to make sure that things are actually done. Yeah, Ollie, and that's exactly right. Where, like, especially with music, like I love music, but you can't listen to music while you're writing music. It's very hard to like watch movies when you're writing music because there's that background audio, and like it's very hard to have like to be writing music and have anything going on in the background. Because it's just there. Music requires your hands, your eyes, your ears. It requires like everything. Like when my wife makes a lot of she makes a lot of yarn. She spins yarn, and like that uses your hands and your eyes. So you can watch a show, you can listen to like a podcast or something. But unfortunately, with what I'm doing, like I have to use everything, which sucks because, again, like I can't listen to a podcast while I write music. As much as I would like to, that would be awesome. And Zelgrith, like I definitely want to keep the 2-hour track challenge around. Like, I'm not going to kill it forever. It's just like, I still want to make a song a week. I just want to be able to stream more often. And I really, really enjoy doing the Ben Get Stuff Done streams because I generally get a ton done. And if I just have like 2 or 3 streams a week, and some of them involve music production, and some of them are just me working on whatever other project I have at the time, I think that there's a lot of interesting things I could do with that. So... Okay, so that's just a typo. Oop. Oh. Okay, so there's a pitch bend here that I don't want. Yeah, no, I hear you. And it's like, obviously, I'm not like sad that you mute the stream or anything like that, because it's a thing. And like this, especially music like this, it can be very grating if listened to over and over. And yeah, it's a very difficult decision, and I've been thinking about it for a very long time. Like, this is not a spur of the moment. A spur of the moment thing that I was like, oh, I just want to kill this stream, because I really don't. It's very hard for me to continue working on anything else when I have the 2-hour track challenge looming over me. And my current plans, and I guess now that I'm talking about it, I might as well just talk about it. In a sense, yes, Pokey, I am. I'm not going to get rid of it forever, but oh yeah, no, and I'm not going to stop streaming. Like, I stream a lot, and I want to continue. Well, I don't stream a lot compared to other people, but okay. So my plan is to, at the start of next year, I'm going to keep reevaluating this stream, but at the start of next year, I'm going to try to stream at least twice a week, or 3 times a week. I'm going to stream Wednesdays, I'm going to stream Saturdays, and I'm going to stream probably Mondays, maybe Tuesdays. I'm not really sure yet, but and I'm still going to do a lot of music production, and I'm still going to create a song a week. I'm just not going to do the 2-hour track challenge every week, because it's very creatively exhausting. And as much as I love doing it, I don't want it to be something that I dread eventually. And there have been times where I have dreaded working on it, and that's not a feeling that I want. So it's one of those things where I definitely want to keep it around, and it's one of those fun things that I want to do sometimes. Just like, it's just like, I'm feeling, I've discovered post to SoundCloud Sunday thread. Oh, wow. That's cool, man. Yeah, and I have definitely gotten a reasonable following on Twitch due to the 2-hour track challenge. Like, I'm not going to discount the fact that this was instrumental in where I am today as a performer, if you want to call this performance art. But like, as everything else, like, it all has to evolve at some point. Yeah, and like I'm not going anywhere. Like I absolutely love streaming. It's so much fun, and I never really want to stop. But sometimes the 2 hour track stuff makes me feel like I kind of want to stop because it's an obligation, and I don't mind obligation, but it's an obligation that's incredibly. Oh yeah, Submerged was a really good one. But it's an obligation that is very, very difficult to fulfill some weeks, and I really do not want to feel like I am just going through the motions with this stuff. Because I mean, that's definitely not why I do creative things in general, and so I want to make sure that I'm like self-limiting myself in various ways because yeah, okay. Because I don't want to burn out. And that's the thing. Like, if you look at my project list right now, it is like, this is what I'm doing the next 2 weeks. I'm trying an agile system for this. And this is what I have to do like the next 2 months. I have so much on my plate right now. And I love doing the 2 hour track challenge, and I want to keep doing it. But this backlog, once that goes away, I have 4 other projects that is going to be filled up in that space. And like, I'm not complaining. Like, I love working, I love making music, and that's something that I want to keep doing. But I feel like if I have this obligation to people, that I am going to push myself too hard, and then if I burn out, then I don't finish anything. So I have to find that I have to find that middle ground, and that middle ground, unfortunately, means going down to once every other week for the Creative Exploration series, once every other week for the Extended Play series. Like I've been moving smaller things back, but this is really the big thing that I think this is kind of the what's it called? Bottleneck in my workflow. Creatively anyway. And I know I've been spending the last like 10 minutes talking instead of actually working on this, but honestly, you just got to make it loud, you know? And honestly, I really like where this is going. Oops. I wanted to see how that flowed in. Take care, Zelgroth. Yeah, Zelgroth, take care, man. Have a safe drive home. So I'm thinking about adding like some kind of weird synth swell, either like through a supersaw or something similar. There's a lot of S's in that sentence. And moving on from there. And there are a lot of things, like going back to this other, like the rant that I was on, because like this has been something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, but I never really had a good time to do it, just because I don't like disappointing people. And I know people have, at least some people have the routine of actually listening to this, which is very flattering, by the way. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and just hanging out and listening to this, because it means a lot to me to be able to create for people rather than just for myself. But like the whole idea of the Patreon, and the Patreon is something that I want to work on more as well. The past couple months have been very slow on the Patreon just because I haven't had time to work on it because I've been so busy. This is going to be really loud. Yeah, so I want this to kind of swell up and down. But it's just the fact that there's a lot of things that I want to do. And if I saturate all my time with what I'm doing right now, then I won't have the ability to work on new and interesting things as well. And I want to be able to work on more video stuff. I want to make, I would love to do like tutorials and like be able to work with people. And like just get more things out there. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. So rant over, maybe. There's just so much that I want to do, and while the 2-hour track challenge is part of that, I do want to also do other things, and I like the idea of time constraints, and I had that creative exploration video talking about the time constraints and how important they are. But the other thing that I mentioned in there is that you also have to have the marathons. You have to have the large projects that help keep you moving forward as an artist, because the sprints, what I'm doing right now, the very closely timed challenges, those are good for getting things done and getting a lot of cool ideas out there, but they're not really good for learning anything new, which is my problem right now. Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm making a lot of neat ideas, but I'm not learning anything new in the process. And that actually bothers me, because there's a lot of things that I want to learn how to do. And like play guitar better or play piano better. And I'm not able to do that right now because my time is saturated, and that sucks. So I need to finish Color Jumper and sell it for $1 million, and then I can retire, and then I can just stream 80 hours a week, and then life would be pretty awesome. Okay, so this is kind of cool, but it's also not. That's better. Yes, Zelgrith. I do plan on streaming more Color Jumper, but actually the development of Color Jumper is kind of on hold until I finish all my other stuff, because I need to finish all my other stuff. And honestly, most of Color Jumper is done, which is awesome. Like, it's all taken care of. I just need to actually make the levels. Actually, I kind of feel like I can just go like this. And like beyond Color Jumper, I have a ton of game ideas that I want to realize. So, there's so many things that I want to do, and I just can't do them all. And it makes me a little, not anxious, but I just need to work through all these projects that I have on my plate, and then I can just start hammering on all the cool stuff that I want to actually do. That's actually a really cool sounding pad. I wish that there wasn't that little pause. There it is. I had the wrong setting. So yeah, like once I finish Color Jumper, I'm just gonna start working on another game, and I want to stream most of that. Like I have a lot of fun streaming game development, both from when I was doing the Crystal Caveman stuff. Because the Crystal Caveman was a lot of fun to stream. Like, even though it was a kind of a big cluster at some point, some points, plural, I learned a lot, and it was a ton of fun to put into action. The next game I'm going to do is actually going to be a very kind of chill game, which I'm okay with. Like, I don't think my friend Amy, now Amy's not in the chat, but she had a very simple game idea a long time ago, and I have her permission, but I want to kind of work on that a little bit more and see if that goes anywhere. And that's not going to be a game that goes on Steam. That'll be like an itch.io game. It'll be very simple and small. Nope, not that one. And honestly, I think I can get rid of the servos for this part. And this is supposed to be here and here. There we go. So yeah, I don't want to give much away just because it's very nebulous right now anyway. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun to try something different and new, especially with all the knowledge I have of Unity now. Because when I started Color Jumper, I didn't know jack, and that was a bit of a problem, as one might guess. So being able to start a project with all that I know now will definitely make it easier to finish that project. And I'm intentionally doing a smaller game this time around, or this second time, because I need just like a palette cleanser, maybe? Because I talked about post-project depression in the past in one of the creative exploration videos, and it's the fact that you spent so much time on something and energy that it's like all of a sudden it's done and gone and over with and released. You don't have a place to put all that time and energy. So if I'm hoping that if I have a really small, short project that I can kind of tinker with for a month or two and put that out there, it'll kind of alleviate that, because I have a feeling it's going to hit me super hard if I don't. So I'm not really sure where this song is at right now. I've kind of yammered on for a while. Okay, so I need another layer here for this, and this is going to be a layer that sits on the top end. And honestly, I have a feeling that this song is going to be pretty much just introducing this layer, having another kind of little solo thing, and then kind of a fade out. Like I'm kind of running low on time. And this is kind of, okay, and this is kind of the other bummer that I have for the 2-hour track challenge, where I have a thing, and the thing is pretty cool, and then I run out of time, and I'm like, well, I'll get back to it sometime, and I never do. And like, if I just go do a thing a week instead, I think that gives me a lot more leeway when it comes to producing things. And I want to be able to I want to be able to capitalize that a little bit more because I like the songs that I make, but I feel like that they're not always complete, and that's a bummer. Holy crap! How did that happen? I'm gonna lower the volume on this. What combination? How is the high pass doing that? What is this? Oh, I think it was the feedback and the noise. Okay. That was a weird combination of... Oops. Okay, so yeah, like that's my plan for next year, I guess. It's not melodic enough. I can see if there's something in here. It's like a synth pluck, maybe. Yeah, like pluck strings is not where I'm going for here. Brass, vocal, soundscape, multi-track, lead. Ugh. There it is. Yeah, okay, so basically just go like this, and go like this, and then I want this to end up here like that. Yeah, and I know we're kind of running out of time. And unfortunately, like when the timer hits, I got to bolt because I've got a prior engagement later today. So hopefully I can kind of... Okay, so it needs another It needs more motion. It needs another this thing's been muted for like ever. It needs another kind of like a staccato reinforcement of the rhythm. And I'm going to make one of those. It's going to be pretty simple, but I don't think it needs to be very complex. It's just going to be some boops. Boops on the D. It's going to be you can think of your own punchline for that one, I'm sure. That sounds like garbage. Because the resonance is too high. So yeah, this kind of sounds crappy by itself, but that's because it's never going to be played by itself, so it doesn't really matter. Why is that not actually doing anything? There we go. So yeah, we're getting there. This is going to be probably like a minute and 35 seconds. It'll be a good song, and there's going to be some good loop points in here. So I'm not super worried, but it's kind of always a bummer when it rides under 2 minutes. But for this track, I have a feeling that I want to be able to get some good stuff in here beyond just this. So I don't think that sentence made any sense, but I'll just go like this and like this and like this and just extend that out and then have that fade out. Just doing this stuff now so I don't have to tinker with it later. Excuse me. And honestly, I think that yeah. It's good to get that ending out of the way, too. That way I have like a goalpost to work towards. And I'm also thinking, in this little bit right here, it might be cool to do the same thing. Okay, so this is cool, but I feel like it needs more grit. So again, I'm going to do the amp and cabinet, and that should... Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We got our juice back. We got to put this way at the end for some shenanigans over here. Turn that off. Turn that on. Again, like I'm just reinforcing that whole everything's on the 16th note. I kind of think that these are done. Like I can't really use them anymore. They're just too much. And maybe it's just because they're too loud. I'm wondering, bring that in here. Can't go wrong with that. That was kind of a weird ending. Oh, man. And like this lead gets totally lost in everything else going on. 'Cause it's fine over here, but with this thing in the way, I'm not entirely sure why I decided to start the lead like in the middle of the phrase. Feels like this is kind of getting out of control a little bit. Just a little. So I'm going to actually kill this instrument early and just kind of get it out of the picture so I have a little bit more space to work with and see if that helps. That helps. That actually helps a lot. So I can also preserve these then for that. Although this one I think I'll want to be a lot quieter. And then, I don't think that... Okay. Well, let's listen to the whole thing. There's still a lot of things that I want to fix, but... As far as boss fight music is concerned, this is pretty cool. Yeah, this is just too loud overall. It feels like it's missing stuff. It feels like it's missing... Oh, what is it missing? It feels like it's missing some hi-hats. I think hi-hats will help. Just because like all of this stuff is either really kind of weird field recordings or it's just like totally non-tonal noise. So if I think if I just add these, just like offbeat kind of stuff. Totally lost in the mix. Probably won't ever be found in the mix either. Ugh, come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if that helps. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. So, what am I at? 11 minutes left, huh? Oh boy. Let's do another really quick mix down. So everything is in this spot right here. So I actually really like how boingy that sound is. That's too loud. Okay. Sorry for not talking. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. There's a lot of moving parts in this one. I think those adjustments helped. I'm gonna. Okay, and then this lead just needs to get fixed up a little bit, and I think we're good. It's just very, very, like most of my improv, it's just very boring. And I need to get better at that, but for the time being, I'm just going to make it a little bit nicer to listen to, so... and yeah, like that's the other thing. And apparently this is just the Ben complains hour right now, but like I want to have more time to work on improving things, like my ability to improvise and playing guitar and all that other stuff. So. And I need time to do that. Okay. Whoa, that's not what I want. Almost done. Okay. Things are going well. Well, that's a weird track, but I'm okay with it. I don't know what I can do for mixing and mastering on this. It's going to be kind of a tricky thing to juggle. Mostly, I think I'll be turning things down so they fit better, but we'll see. This is definitely outside of my normal songwriting skills. Which is not a bad thing. Like, it's good to challenge yourself and do all that other stuff, but it's just like it's not what I'm used to doing. Well, if you didn't have your volume up, or if you had your volume up, I'd say watch your volume a little bit, because I'm going to do a little bit of compression to bring it up to... Okay, I think we're done with this one. It's a bit of a short mastering job, but it's not like... Okay, here we go. Let's listen to it. Where the hell does this go? Oh, it's still loud. Gotta love those pitch bends. Okay, so I think I'm going to call this one done. This was a very interesting track, but I can mark it off this list, and that's good, because I only have one left on here now, and that is the one that scares me the most, and that's making a song in the Baroque style, which a lot of people say is easy, but having never done it before, it scares the hell out of me. But I'll make it work. I always make it work. It might be a bit of a train wreck, like a little bit like how this song was, but this song was also pretty cool, so I can't complain. So yeah, that is the 2-hour track challenge. I would say that it's a successful one, if not kind of a weird track that I definitely was a little outside of my comfort zone for some of this, but that's kind of cool too. So if you like what you saw here, if you're watching this on twitch.tv/Ben_Burns, you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Ben_Burns, and that's BURNES for the name. On YouTube, I post a bunch of things outside of just music production. I have a couple things. I'm actually doing a Let's Play series of Super Hot that's going out every Monday right now. I have every Friday, I have either a creative exploration episode or I have an extended play episode. Both of those are just focused on creativity and looking at what other people have done. And then Wednesdays, I do this, and I post it on Thursdays and so forth. Most of you know the schedule already. Either way, if you're watching this on Twitch, please consider subscribing on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please consider going over to twitch.tv/Ben_Burns and subscribing there. If you are interested in watching more streams that I do, you got kind of a primer of what the next couple months are going to be like for me. So you'll expect more streams, and I don't always want to make all the streams that I put on Twitch. I don't want to port all of them over to YouTube. I want to kind of partition out my content a little bit more, just so people like feeling special and having a little exclusivity between both. Beyond that, I don't want to spam my YouTube channel with like 30 hours of video every week. It feels like it's kind of a lot already. Also, if you want to get in touch with me and just chat about anything, you can find me on Patreon. On Twitter at Ben_Burns. Again, that's BURNES. And I talk all the time about everything pretty much forever. So feel free to get in touch with me there. If you like this song and you'd like to use it in a creative project that you're working on, you can find me on Patreon at Ben_Burns, and you will be able to use this song royalty free. Well, attribution is requested, but royalty free if your project deems it. So yeah, that's all I have. I am going to get going. I've got, like I said, a couple other things going on later today that I have to take care of. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out and spending time with me today and keeping me company while we make this song together. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Just a second. I can just turn off the mic.